Hello and thanks for staying with us. The Nigerian Customs Service has impounded goods worth over 1 billion naira from smugglers operating along the western parts of the country. Also on customs reports, customs continue to implement policies that promote trade and revenue generation in the country. Plus, more reports. I am Igiseme Itinye. Stay tuned. The Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service in charge of ICT has said that the 962 program will further increase the revenue base of the customs all over the country. He made a remark when he visited Murtala Mohammed Customs Commission in Lagos. He urged stakeholders to be ready to implement 962 measures that will improve the workings of the customs in the country. He told stakeholders 962 will further make sure that the clearance of goods are cleared effectively from all the border areas in the country.
We have deployed 962, which is the upgrade and update of our clearance application. And we're adding new functionalities to close the gaps that have been over the years of using Ascuda++ being identified as, causing our revenue leakages. So we have done this pilot study in KLT, we deployed in PTML, and we're now in Tinkan, which were concluded. We'll be moving to Apapa. But as in the normal practice of implementation of a system that has an impact on the live transaction, it is always better for us to come ahead to the next stage, that is the place we are going to deploy, to bring them up on board so that they comprehend exactly what we are about to do. And then from there also we listen to them and understand their peculiar issues so that we can look and realign this to our system to see whether the system we are deploying can fit and actually achieve the objective of increasing revenue and delivering trade facilitation to the trading public. And that's why today we came to partner with them, and we sat with the stakeholders to understand. And normally when we come like this, we also have to assess the volume of training, both at the stakeholder aspect and the number of officers to be trained in the different roles that the new system is going to operate. So this is one of these things. It's like moving ahead, doing your assessment to understand that the strategy you are deploying and the system you are deploying will key in seamlessly. When you look at the throughput and the leakages that are done and the system gaps that we have identified, it is possible. Because right now, we did not have the evaluation the way it is done, particularly for vehicles, using the VIN number and ensuring that there's a standard duty collection, where there's no any two different duty given to different vehicles from different people. It's a unified kind of a system. Secondly, we are looking at making sure that the centralized manifest is working, where you don't need to create manifests, because creating all different manifests or Transire manifests was what was actually making us lose revenues. Because when you create such a different distance, there's bound to be abuses, where some goods that are going on Transire, they may not even reach there. How will you know? And we have lost a lot of revenue through that process, the porousness of the Transire system and the manifest system. But with the new SNASIS tool, the centralized manifest is such a way that it's unique, such a way that cargoes are tracked individually. So you can have a bill laden for 200 containers, and some of them may be delivered to Kaduna, some may be delivered to Port Harcourt, some may be released here. But the system manages all this and tracks individually.
The Customs Area Controller in charge of Murtala Mohammed International Airport also commented at the workshop organized by the Customs Management at the airport.
I'm actually elated that the ACG is here today in this command, because NISAS 2 is actually an addition to the procedure we're having. It's a clearance procedure that is going to help us a lot in revenue generation. We can see what is happening in Apapa. They're not actually through with Apapa, but in Tinkan. This morning, we heard about the revenue generation in Thinkan, which of course is the assistance of the NICES 2 program that is already in place. So we're looking forward to NICES 2 taking place in the MMIA area command, because it's actually going to help us a lot to increase our revenue.
One of the stakeholders who attended the workshop also said that the agents at the airport will make sure that the program work effectively.
NICES 2, to my understanding, is I think it's a new improved mechanism for the revenue generation and trade facilitation. That's what I can think is a summary of what the SCG is doing. And I think it's a new novel that, if actually implemented, because each time such policies come into focus, my concern is the implementation. If actually it is implemented to the letter, the way the seminar went today, I think it is going to be good for this country.
Everything, as they say, will be paperless as time goes on. How prepare your own people at the airport here?
Well, for now, what they are here today to do is sensitization, which they promise to come for the proper training. And I don't think anything that is geared towards improvement in knowledge, revenue generation for government, and to facilitate trade. Definitely my people will key into that. So we are really eager to see this come.
The zonal coordinator of Nigerian Customs Service in charge of Zone A has said that the customs will continue to assist freight forwarders in the maritime sector in the country. The ECG represented the Controller General of Customs at the formal swearing-in ceremony of the newly elected Association of Nigerian Licensed Customs President, Tony Wabunike. So the association must make sure that goods coming into the country has correct documentation.
But it is no fact that Nigeria Customs Service, when it is mentioned, the next person close to it is forwarding or clearing agent. That relationship has been there for long. And the interesting thing about the relationship is that it is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. It is my hope and prayer that the relationship will continue to grow positively. As for the incoming man, the president, Uju, the person I call a friend true friend, my contact too with him came into being in 2012. I think he has the capacity, he has the charisma, and of course the aura to be the president of this your great association. I wish him well. I congratulate him for his success. But I have two things to say. This is not specifically for him, but for leadership wherever it could be it big, be it small. The most important thing about leadership is that in recent time I discovered that if you stand on a religious platform to give leadership, you are in trouble. If you stand on tribal or ethnic platform to give leadership, particularly in Nigeria, you are in trouble. So are those votes coming together to elect you without indication whether they come from a Muslim, from a Yoruba, from Hausa, from whosoever, I would want to advise you to stand on that neutral ground and dispense your leadership.
The newly elected president has this to say.
Another has come of age and must begin to take its rightful place in the social economic development of Nigeria. We should no longer be reactionary, tackling issues and challenges as they arise. But we must be ready to be proactive by providing guidance in policy formulation and execution as it affects our sectors and the space of our influence. Especially, we will work to assist government in reducing administrative bottlenecks in our sector. in support of its effort to improve the ease of doing business in Nigeria. We will also work with government in eliminating the duplication of its agencies and the harmonization of charges at the port, the reduction of excessive charges and taxes, reduction of automobile tariffs, the reduction of port congestion by including border posts for clearing of automobiles, and the total elimination of foreigners and unlicensed personnel in our profession. We must continue to advocate for the improved welfare of our members by providing a pension scheme for retirees and the different classes of insurance for our members. This will also implement at the regional/local secretariats of our association. In order to achieve this, we shall work hard to develop a revenue generation platform that will enable the implementation of this welfare scheme at all levels. My administration will embark on the development of a befitting custom brokers village with state-of-art training facilities.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The controller in charge of Federal Operations Zone A has intercepted goods worth over 1.4 billion naira in Lagos. The controller also said that the units also intercepted exotic cars worth 1 billion naira, 10 trucks of foreign rice for smugglers. The customs boss also intercepted drugs, and a total of 10 suspects were arrested by his unit.
This is one of the 4 containers we have seized for contravening importation law. You can now see that what is declared there, mosquito net, as adultery with a duty paid value of over 10 million. When you are talking about reason for the seizure, is false declaration. The meaning of false declaration is this is covered in section 46 of the Custom and the Excise Law. Any good entered and concealed, even if the goods are due, goods packed in a manner to deceive a custom officer, or goods as entered contrary to what is found. This is section DEF of the Custom and Excise Law. These goods are liable to forfeiture. This is one of the containers seized for that reason. We do not just seize, we have reason for seizing. So, like I quoted, we are empowered to do so by section 46 of the Custom and Excise Law. We have been able to seize 6,350 kg bags of rice, equivalent to 10 trailers of rice. This is one of the vehicles carrying this rice with a duty paid bond. We have a number of vegetable oil seized. This is the value of this. Vegetable oil in refined form is equally prohibited from being imported. However, in crude form is allowed because it will be further processed by our local industries. Other ingredients will be sourced locally. Nigerians will get employment. This is the wisdom behind the banning of the importation of refined vegetable oil. Anytime you are buying, check the lifespan is written so that you don't go and buy expired tires. While driving, you will get bumped and accident is likely to happen. It is for this reason the federal government has banned the importation of used tires. most of the accidents, most of these are being used by commercial vehicles because they want to minimize costs and they want to make a profit. They carry passengers and in the process accidents do and lives or injuries sustained. This is the quantity, 570 parcels and 98 bags with a value of 62 million. And DPP 74. Status seizure.
The Ogun State Customs Command newly appointed Customs Area Controller has resumed duty in Ogun State, Abeokuta. He took over from the former controller, who is now transferred to Abuja. Before handed over to the new controller, the former controller displays some of the seized goods made by his men within a short period.
I reported here April 2017. Today we are in April 2018. We have done our best. We have tried and we have suppressed smuggling. Today we will review, or I will inform you of what we did January 2017 to December 2017. The anti-smuggling activities of that year, we have seized a total of 810 seizures in 2017. We had a total number of vehicles seized, 442 vehicles. Number of motorcycles we seized, 104, with a DPB value of 1,581,410,058 naira. We had a total of 21 bags, 21,789 bags of 50 kg bags of imported rice. We have seized 15,825 cartons of frozen poultry product. We have seized 1,935 kegs of vegetable oil. Cannabis were too numerous to mention. We continuously handed over to the NDLEA. This was our performances. Then the revenue for last year, we were able to generate 6.1 billion naira. From January to date, that is this year, we have generated 1,413,867,209 naira. Anti-smuggling activities, we have made a total seizure of 110 seizures within the period of January to date, with a DPV value of over 737,009,781 naira. Vegetable oil, we have seized over 907 kegs of vegetable oil. PMS, Premium Motor Spirit, which is popularly known as petrol, we were able to seize 406 kegs of 25 liter each, 9 drums and 32 kegs of diesel, 5 drums of kerosene, Indian hemp, 93 compressed coconut packs and 63 compressed book pack that were all seized within this period under review. This will interest you to know, within the last 2 weeks, we have seized a total of 12 Tokumbo vehicles. You can all see the vehicles. This is one of them, 12 Tokumbo vehicles. We have seized another vehicles that are called means of conveyance. They are equally 12 in number. The value for the Tokumbo vehicles is put at 42,974,000, while the value for the means of conveyance is put at 12,230,255.
Officially handed over to the new controller in his office.
I am handing over the Ogun Area Command in the presence of all the OCs to Mr. Agbara M. I wish you success in your tenure and wish you good luck. Thank you. I hand over the custom flag for you to keep flying it high. Thank you. Officers and gentlemen, bye-bye.
The newly appointed Customs Area Controller in charge of PTLM Command has officially taken over from the outgoing controller, who is now elevated to the post of Assistant Controller General of Customs in Abuja. The newly appointed ACG has this to say.
My most memorable month was the month of October 2017, where we realized 10.6 billion. That is the highest revenue so far recorded in PTML. PTML rolled out NISIS 2 on February 12th, 2018. And since then, our revenue profile has increased. Because of the closure of the land borders to vehicle, this has increased our vehicle traffic in PTML, which has also resulted in increase in our revenue generation.
Yes, what has been your working relationship with the agency that are operating here as regards to the clearance of consignments?
Like I always say, PTML is a model port, and all the agencies here have keyed into the 24-hour cargo clearance. If you are clearing your cars, you can take your cars out in 6 hours, and I enjoyed tremendous cooperation from all the agencies in that regard.
Your speech, when you were handing over to the new controller, you were able to know the names of virtually all your workers, their departments, what they do, their strengths. How did you come about this?
I think as a leader, you have to get to know your people. You have to know what they can do and what they cannot do. And as a leader, you have to try and bring out the best in your people to be able to achieve the organizational set goals and objectives towards revenue generation.
What message do you have for all of them right now?
To all the officers and men of PTML, all the remarkable feats achieved, I did not do it on my own. I had all your support, and I also enjoin you to extend the same to incoming Comptroller Sade Adetoye, and I'm sure they will have a successful journey together too.
While the new controller also says that it's ready.
The bar has been raised by the outgoing controller, now our ACG. Therefore, we have a challenge. My officers should now do more than what they were doing. They should wake up so that we can meet that target. Otherwise, there could be a problem. We have to do more than what they were doing. I've told them they should go and look at their post, internalize it, and act properly. Work without supervision, see how you can improve on what we are doing so that we garner more revenue for the government. We have a mandate to get enough revenue for government and do anti-smuggling functions, including facilitating trade, and to make sure there are no infractions. Then we have to do, at the same time, we do trade facilitation. This is what we have to. This is the only thing we can do for the CGC, who has reposed so much confidence in us. The last time we had our 28 days in lieu of 25 days, where we are posted in lieu of hotel accommodation, paid just to our account. Such payments are done without any rancor. Even our AIE comes that way. The man has missed way for us, and he's doing a lot day and night. Then, as officers, the only thing we can do is to encourage him, because anything we do that is not good, the press will blame it on him. So at least if we don't even want to work, because of that man will do it, and because of the country Nigeria, because we need a lot of money, and they're looking up to us. So I plead with my officers. They have raised the bar with the challenge, and working with our outgoing controller. Now they have to do more. Otherwise we'll remain at the same level. For us to parachute and go up, they must do more, definitely. And so this is what I have come to do, to make sure we are charged to increase the revenue, projection and collection, and again to make sure that the politics is coming, election. This is the time we should be more vigilant. We should be more vigilant. Many things. Then when we go to the north, even we have this insecurity everywhere. The only way to stem it is to make sure, let them know that this our port is a no-go area for never do worse. The security factor is everybody's job. As for customs and as per this port, we should make sure it is clean and neat. We facilitate trade and generate possibly maximum revenue for government. Our focus, our mandate now is to increase the revenue. This is the only barometer to measure the performance of customs in Nigeria. Then the other things are possible things, that is this anti-smuggling thing, which definitely we are going to throw out of this place. And I'm aware there's no machine outside. That I will not take that. And when there are laws, implementation of rules can only guarantee effectiveness. So if there are some people who want to do it, I don't mind getting some scapegoats.
Just before I round up this week edition of the program, Custom Support, we brought you a report where FOU Zone A impound goods worth over 1.4 billion naira from smugglers within 3 weeks. For me, Igeseme Edine, thanks for watching.